He said the camera helped him see the world clearly. But by the time the world saw him, it was too late to look away. Evan Miles wasn't evil. At least, not at first. He was 28 years old. A content creator, a storyteller, a man who believed every moment deserved an audience. He lived online, chasing algorithms like they were destiny, filming everything from his morning coffee to the quiet tears no one was supposed to see. His followers called him real. His sponsors called him reliable. But those who really knew him, the few who'd seen what the camera didn't, called him something else entirely. Obsessed. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to Famous Crime Cases, where we uncover stories that challenge what you think you know about humanity. Evan had one rule: if it's not recorded, it didn't happen. He said it jokingly at first, holding his phone like a lifeline. But soon, it became more than a rule. That it became a religion. Every dinner, every walk, every argument, all of it lived through a lens. He'd stop mid-sentence to adjust lighting, interrupt laughter to retake a shot, stage conversations just to make them trend. His girlfriend, Rachel Lin, once laughed and said, "Do you ever live without filming it?" He smiled, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "Why would I? The world deserves to know me." But somewhere between likes and views, the man who wanted to be known began to disappear. And the man behind the camera, the one who watched everyone else, started to take control. At first, it was small things. He'd film Rachel asleep, claiming it was cute. He'd hide a mic during arguments, calling it content. When she told him to stop, he'd smile and say, "You'll thank me when we're famous." But the videos never stopped. If anything, they got darker. One clip, never meant to be seen by anyone, showed Rachel crying in their living room. Evan's voice, calm, almost rehearsed, said, "Tell them how it feels to be ungrateful." She looked off camera, whispering, "Evan, please." And then the recording cut off. Online, Evan's followers saw a different world. They saw vlogs filled with laughter, date nights, and sunsets. He edited perfectly, every smile timed, every transition smooth. But behind every perfect shot, Rachel's fear grew. She tried to leave once, packed a small bag, waited until he was out filming a drone sequence downtown. But when she opened the door, her phone buzzed. Notification, new upload from Evan Miles. The title read, "She left me." Her heart sank. The video had already reached 300,000 views. In it, Evan sat alone, tears glistening in his eyes, saying she had abandoned their dream. That night, she didn't leave, because the whole world already believed his version. Weeks passed. Rachel became a background character in her own life. Always filmed, always performing, never safe. She'd catch glimpses of small red lights hidden in corners, GoPros, phones, even a body cam he wore for authenticity. When she finally confronted him, he didn't shout. He smiled, calm, almost tender. "Don't you see?" he said. "People love you. You're the reason they watch." Her voice trembled. "I never agreed to this." "You don't have to," he replied. "You're part of the story now." That night, he posted a video titled, "The Truth About Us." It was a montage, their relationship cut like a movie trailer, full of romance, laughter, and conflict for engagement. It ended with the caption, "Every love story has pain. Ours just happens to be real." The video hit 1 million views in 2 days. And Rachel's inbox flooded with messages, some supportive, most cruel. People said she was ungrateful, dramatic, lucky to have him. And Evan smiled through it all, because fame was finally coming. But then something changed. A new video appeared, not from Evan, but from an anonymous account. It was titled, "The Footage He Didn't Show." It showed raw clips from his home, unedited. Rachel crying, Evan shouting off-screen. Moments that made everything look different. Within hours, the internet turned. The man who'd built his career on control lost it all overnight. But instead of disappearing, Evan doubled down. He posted again, a video that would become infamous. In it, he said, "You think you know the truth because of a few clips? You know nothing about me. You never did." And then he ended with words that would haunt millions later. "If they want a monster, I'll give them one." That was the last time he went live. The next morning, Rachel was gone. Her phone, purse, and car keys, all still at home. And Evan? He was out filming again. When police arrived, he told them she'd needed space. That she was probably at a friend's. But Detective Noah Reed wasn't convinced. He'd seen obsession before, the kind that hides behind love. So he searched, and what he found, behind a locked door in the spare bedroom, would unravel everything. Inside were dozens of hard drives, each labeled by month, each filled with footage of Rachel, every moment she'd ever lived with him. Sleeping, eating, crying, begging. Every second of her life archived like a movie script. And in one folder, labeled Final Cut, was a video scheduled to upload automatically at midnight. The thumbnail showed Rachel, her face pale, eyes swollen, whispering, "Please don't let him tell my story." When detectives opened that folder, they expected another manipulation, another performance. But what they found wasn't a confession, it was a message. The video began with static, then a quiet voice, shaky but firm. "My name is Rachel Lin. If you're seeing this, then something's happened to me." She looked straight into the lens, eyes red, jaw trembling. "I tried to leave." He said the story isn't over, but it has to end. Detective Noah Reed paused the footage. The timestamp read 2 days before she vanished. Evan had never posted it was scheduled. A final upload Rachel must have set up herself, and it was titled, "The Real Story." Reed ordered the tech unit to pull everything from the drives, thousands of hours of footage. It was more than digital evidence. It was a diary, one recorded without consent, one that chronicled a slow, methodical erosion of a woman's life. Every clip told a story. Rachel flinching when a phone light flickered. Rachel pretending to laugh when a camera turned her way. Rachel whispering, "Please don't film me," and Evan's voice calmly replying, "The audience needs this." 4 months, he'd been uploading rehearsed versions of those same moments online. Re-edit, reframed, reversed. He made himself the victim. He made her the villain. And millions believed it. But the most chilling file wasn't a video. It was a folder titled, Draft Final Feature. Inside, storyboards, script outlines, voiceover notes. Evan wasn't just documenting his life. He was directing it. Each note described scenes in the third person. She cries again. He forgives her. She returns. The fans love her more. It read like a screenplay, one that always ended with her coming back. Except this time, she didn't. Detective Reed began to piece together the timeline. Neighbors said they'd heard shouting the night before the disappearance. A woman's voice, muffled. A door slamming. Then silence. Security cameras across the street caught flickering light from the house. Camera flashes, movement, but no one leaving. And then, nothing. But Reed knew one thing. Evan never stopped filming. And cameras? They always tell the truth, even when people don't. So the detectives traced the IP of the automatic upload Rachel had set up. It led to a cloud account Evan didn't know existed, one she had created secretly weeks earlier. It contained her final days. And in them, she left breadcrumbs. The recordings were chilling in their simplicity. A hidden phone camera in a bookshelf. A note written on her palm, "Keep rolling." Rachel had started documenting him. In one video, she whispered to the camera, "He says he loves me, but I think he loves the version of me that doesn't say no." In another, she recorded his late-night monologues, Evan pacing the room, muttering lines to himself like a director rehearsing dialogue. "You think they'll believe you? I built this. You're nothing without my lens." Rachel, trembling, held the camera steady. "I don't need them to believe me," she whispered. "I just need them to see." That sentence, 6 words, became the turning point of the entire case. Police analyzed the timestamps. The last video Rachel ever filmed showed her quietly placing her phone under a couch cushion. Then, Evan walked in. His voice low. "You're not going anywhere." She didn't answer. He moved closer. Then the camera shook, fell sideways, and went black. The footage ended there. 3 hours later, Evan uploaded a vlog titled, "Moving On." It showed him sitting at his desk, tearful, claiming Rachel had left for good. That was the night she vanished. Detective Reed now had enough to arrest him. But evidence wasn't just about proving guilt. It was about showing truth. So Reed made a decision most cases never see. He compiled a short presentation of Rachel's recovered footage, just 6 minutes long, to show to the court. When the lights dimmed in the courtroom, silence fell. The screen flickered to life. Rachel appeared, alive in the only way she could be now, her voice steady, her gaze unbroken. She spoke directly to the camera. If someone tries to own your story, tell it anyway, even if it's the last thing you do. Gasps filled the room. Her mother sobbed quietly in the front row. Evan sat still, expression flat, for once, not in control. The video ended. The screen faded to black. And the room erupted. It wasn't rage. It wasn't pity. It was something else, realization. That all this time, the audience had been complicit. Every click, every comment, every like on his content had fed the control that destroyed her life. The jury took less than 3 hours. Guilty on all counts. Unlawful surveillance. Coercion. Digital abuse. Destruction of evidence. He was sentenced to 40 years in prison. But that wasn't the end of the story. Because Rachel's videos didn't just convict him. They changed everything. Her recordings were released publicly, not for shock value, but as education. Lawmakers used them to draft the first major U.S. legislation against digital coercion. A nonprofit was founded in her name, the Rachel Lin Initiative, dedicated to helping victims of tech-enabled abuse reclaim their digital freedom. And her final message, "I just need them to see," became their mission statement. Months later, Detective Reed stood outside the now-empty house where it all began. The once bustling creator home was dark, silent, its walls stripped bare of cameras and screens. But in the corner of the living room, he saw something faint. A crack in the paint shaped like a frame, where a camera once hung. He smiled sadly and whispered, "You were right, Rachel. We saw." Then he walked away, leaving the light off, the way it should have been all along. We live in a world that tells us visibility is everything, that being seen means being alive. But this story, Rachel's story, reminds us of something far more important. Visibility without consent isn't fame. It's captivity. Evan Miles wanted to be remembered. And he will be, not for his followers, not for his views, but as the man who taught the world that the truth doesn't need a filter. Because the camera doesn't just capture what's in front of it. Sometimes, it exposes what's behind it. If you found the story meaningful, consider subscribing to Famous Crime Cases for more real-life investigation and human stories.